What's up? Welcome to your Daily Buckeye Blitz for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. We are winding down this month. Don't forget it's a leap year, so you got an extra day. Go out and do whatever you want with it. Go nuts. Or you could go to the buckeyecast.com, check out the video vault, sign up for a membership there. It's probably a good way to spend your day. Watch all the videos you want all day long. Anyways, you guys know what to do. Share it with a friend, por favor. We are creeping up. The YouTube channel is creeping up to 3,000 subscribers almost. It's not even in season yet. So I feel good about that. We're at about 2950-ish, something like that. So appreciate everybody who has shared the YouTube channel with your friends and family as well. Thank you very much. And the podcast is always booming. That's our original platform. We started out on the podcast form in your ear holes. Now we're in your eye holes, and I hope you're enjoying every minute of it. So today we're talking about one of your favorite Buckeyes, one of my favorite Buckeyes of all time, James Laurinaitis. He is officially the linebackers coach for the Buckeyes, but what are his expectations for this linebacker group? Because we clamored for 2 years to get Laurinaitis a GAA job, or to get him the full-time linebacker coach job. He's got it now. What's he going to do with it? And how does he see this linebacker room? How is Laurinaitis going to handle recruiting? So let's talk about it. Let's get into it here. This is 33 all day, all night. So as the official linebackers coach for the Buckeyes, Laurinaitis helped sign Peyton Pierce and Garrett Stover in this class of 2024. Those guys are on campus already. But Laurinaitis is now on the clock, and he needs to sign 3, maybe 4 linebackers in this 2025 class. Now, they've got some targets, some high priority guys, but let's get into what Laurinaitis is working with here. As one of the best linebackers in college football history, Laurinaitis has the hardware to open more doors on the recruiting trail than most coaches, right? We can't argue that. He can walk into high schools around the country with the Block O as a 3-time All-American for that Block O. In the interviews last week, Laurinaitis said, quote, I try to be an ambassador of Ohio State. I love this school. It's changed my life. It's done wonders for me and my family. To play here, recruit your position at the school you went to, at the place you love, it's so natural. And so when you're explaining it to people, like, I'm sure there are some coaches that have to come off as used car salesmen. There's really none of that, because I've lived it. That's more profound than any freaking coach. I don't care if he's been in the game for 30 years. Laurinaitis has the trump card over all of them. Continuing on with Laurinaitis here, he said, quote, I think that's a huge benefit when you're talking to young people, trying to convince them to come to your school. It's like, this is what it did for me. I love this place, and I want to raise my girls around this place because of how special it is and how it changed my life. And I know how it can change all these other young men's lives too. Again, he has the profound words, man, and it's genuine. This past January, Laurinaitis had a chance to recruit on the road for the first time. His first day out was in Florida with Ryan Day alongside. They stopped to see TJ Alford down at Vero Beach. He's the top priority linebacker for the Buckeyes. Alford has been a major target for Ohio State since last June when he camped in Columbus. But Alford and other linebacker prospects were told by other schools that were negatively recruiting Laurinaitis. They're saying Laurinaitis isn't going to be the full-time linebackers coach. Well, false. Now he is the linebackers coach. So that concern is no longer an issue. The negative recruiting is no longer an issue, specifically for Alford and other linebackers being recruited by James. Alford talked about Laurinaitis. He said, quote, he definitely proved it. When he got the promotion, the Buckeyes definitely took a huge jump. I've seen him in action firsthand by camping and watching them practice. He's a great coach. I definitely feel like linebackers are drawn towards him. So interesting comments there by the recruit. Then you got Brian Hartline, Tim Walton. They're obviously Ohio State's best recruiters right now, both former Buckeyes also. So you got to remember that. They spent significant time in the NFL before returning to Columbus. They have been immediately successful on the recruiting trail. Walton's been on staff at Ohio State for just 2 years, but Hartline's success has been sustained over a longer period of time. Plus, he turned his position room into one of the best in the country. He's done that by choosing the people who work for him, not just for their talent and not recruiting ratings. And that's the model Laurinaitis says he wants to follow. Laurinaitis said, quote, I've always kind of talked to Brian about it, and he developed in his coaching career. You see where he's at. When you have a receiver run like he has, where he's consistently convincing the top wide receiver recruits in the country to come to a room that is already full of top 5 receiver recruits in the country, that takes a certain mindset that he's developed. Continuing on, quote, it's not just because he's recruiting the best kids, he's recruited the right kind of kids as well. Prospects that are willing to compete and push the room forward. So I think that's a good example. I would say so too. Ohio State needs 3 or 4 linebackers in this cycle, and Laurinaitis has been working on his list of top targets for quite a while. Now he's in the position to go get his guys. Throughout January, he was recruiting as an interim coach, but that was a week-long job interview, really, with Ryan Day by his side. Laurinaitis said, quote, Coach Day was with me day one. When we went down through Florida, I quite honestly viewed it as a job interview when I was there with him. So now Laurinaitis, full-time linebackers coach for the Buckeyes, locked and loaded on the recruiting trail as well. So the Buckeyes have a major need at linebacker in this class of 2025. It's time to take the linebacker recruiting up a few notches. It's been kind of middle of the road the last few years, 5 years, you could say. But Ohio State heads into spring camp needing to replace Tommy Eichenberg and Steele Chambers, both obviously starters, Tommy being a captain as well. So you're replacing leadership there. So let's look at snap counts here from the linebackers. Last year, Tommy Eichenberg had 606. He had 3 games he did not play in, though, due to injury late in the season. The bowl game he didn't play in. Steele played in every game, played 649. So that's what you got to replace here in the middle linebacker position. Cody had about half as many snaps. He had 373. He played in every game. 73 snaps was his high water mark against in the Cotton Bowl against Missouri. So I imagine Cody's going to be up in that 600 world with his snap counts. He's done it before. He was our starting linebacker back in 2021, so don't forget that. And he was productive. He had that torn labrum all year. Tough guy. New Jersey tough, brings that edge too that I love. So you got to replace your middle linebacker with Cody. So Cody's ramping up his snaps substantially, like doubling this coming season. Then you got to find yourself a will linebacker, right? Who's that going to be? Nobody's sold that it's CJ Hicks. Is it Sonny Styles moving down? I don't know. But the Buckeye defense uses 2 linebackers the majority of the time. So that puts a big time spotlight on Laurinaitis to get these guys ready. And we'll get into more of that later this week. I'm going to focus on CJ Hicks and what his role could be and what James Laurinaitis said about him. So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.